All new for Spring/Summer 2020 and a definite contender for my favourite outright motorcycle jean in our collection is the all new and improved Resurgence Warrior jean. The Warrior jeans have been around for 4 or 5 seasons in our lineup, but it's the predecessor version, the non-CE approved equivalent, which was phased out essentially last year along with the arrival of the new CE regulations, meaning that all incoming gear has to be CE approved. So manufacturers like Resurgence have been taking the time to understand, assess and approach CE approval as best they can to come out with new CE certifications for their products. So we've seen a few changes, and in the last video we showed you the Cafe Racer jean, which along with the Warrior jean have always been 2 of our best-selling jeans in our lineup, and that has achieved the top possible level of AAA certification for impact and abrasion protection, which is normally the reserve of outright technical protective race leathers and the like. So it's incredibly impressive that that was achieving AAA. The Warrior, compared to the Cafe Racer, has always been a slightly more sort of value for money equivalent, if you like. The Cafe Racer being a selvage denim and having a PEKEV, as opposed to the Warrior having a PEKEV Lite aramid fibre lining in it. So it's always had slightly less full-on versions of what you get with the Cafe Racer jean, and therefore has come in at slightly less money. But in spite of these apparent concessions, this one coming in at £159 has still achieved a AA level of CE certification, which until the Cafe Racers came along in the last video was the highest of anything in our collection anyway. So it's really remarkable, and despite from all the technical side of things, what has always made these so popular is just the way that they feel, look and fit. And Resurgence have always got their sizing absolutely spot on, which is a godsend as a retailer because there's no nonsense. Look at what size you want, buy it, and it will fit you. The fact that these jeans have a slight stretch in them as well makes them very accommodating and comfortable, meaning that there's no pinch points on the bike. And this is a slim fit. So weirdly, Resurgence have a thing about just misnaming the fit of their jeans. The Cafe Racers used to be called the Skinny, whereas they were Slim, and they've now transferred the name to Slim, which is confusing. And in the Warrior jean, they just used to be the Warrior jean, and now they've called them the Skinny jean. These are not a skinny jean. They are just a regular slim fit, just like the Cafe Racers, with this stretch, making them very comfortable. And as you can see in the pictures, they're not a skinny jean. So why they've put that in their title, I don't know. But the Warrior jean only exists in this one variety for 2020. Whatever you want to call the cut, there is only one available regardless of what we or anyone else names it in terms of that fit, just to avoid any confusion. Equally, you may see Warrior jeans on sale on a couple of sites at a big discount. That will be the old one, that will be the non-CE approved equivalent, and that's the one with less of a PEKEV lining. So PEKEV is like a Kevlar equivalent, but it's Resurgence's own in-house aramid fibre. It's astonishingly good at what it does in terms of protecting you from abrasion, and it has some of the highest slide times available. So the Cafe Racer has a double layer of the PEKEV Lite that we see in the Warrior jean is essentially just a slightly thinner version of it. The lining of that lining goes down 80% as well, so that means all but the very bottom here of the ankles is lined with this PEKEV lining, and that's up from 60% on the predecessor as well, so you get more of the lining. The other fantastic thing about both the Cafe Racer and the Warrior jean alike for 2020 is the introduction of the D3O Level 1 CE approved Ghost knee and hip armour included at the price of $159 with this product. The predecessors, bearing in mind the non-CE approval, the slightly inferior version of the PEKEV, and so on and so forth, and the fact they didn't come with the D3O Ghost armour, were $139. So there's £20 difference for this year for all these absolutely fantastic improvements that have been made technically to the product. It still feels just as wonderful and lightweight as ever, and what I love about these is that they just do feel so much like a regular off-the-bike product. The styling of them is obviously also designed with that in mind, so sometimes motorcycle jeans go, we're a motorcycle jean and here's all our protective features and sort of ribbing panels and so on. And then others, like the Warrior jean, try to hide that fact by not having horizontal stitching for knee armour pockets and so on, and just make it look like your regular jeans would. We have them in the blue and we have them in the black. The blue has the indigo and with the kind of off-coloured contrast orange stitching, and the black is just black. The black will be available as of Monday next week after the release of this video. The blue is available right now, so essentially by the time you probably see this, they are both available. This is something that's subtly branded as well. So we have Resurgence on the little button at the top of the zip fly. We have the engraved branding as well on these little snaps as you go around. And you have this tan leather patch on the back of the belt loop section too. and you've got these two quite close together belt loops, which means that it's good for pulling this up and creating a join to your trousers so you don't have any kind of exposed section, just with this slight rise on the rear. Otherwise, as you can see, the styling is fairly sort of formulaic, and these are really designed to just look like a normal pair of jeans that just fit really, really well. These fit, I think, slightly nicer, in my opinion, than the Cafe Racers, because perhaps they are slightly more lightly lined with the PEKEV, but the stretch itself is more noticeable to me. So I just absolutely love the way that they fit. And one thing to say about the fact that this has the outer denim, and then it has this aramid PEKEV lining, and then the sports liner as well on the inside for comfort. That's 3 layers. Now that sounds like potentially these could be bulky and heavy. So the theory is that it's better to have 1 layer, and there's a big push for single layer jeans at the moment. And because you're incorporating all of these different elements into 1 layer, of course it's more expensive. But in my opinion, the end result product, what does it feel like to wear most of the single layer jeans versus the one that we have here? It's much of a muchness. Don't get too sidetracked by wanting single layer for single layer's sake. Often those fabrics don't feel that denim-y, and they don't feel that jean-like, and they feel quite stiff. That's my honest opinion. So going for something that's triple layered like this does not feel like there's 3 layers. It feels like a protective pair of jeans that are totally wearable all day off the bike. They're not going to be therefore the lightest because of the extra layers compared to some single layers, if that's a big concern if you're looking for spring, summer in very hot climates. But for UK climates, this is absolutely fine. You will not suffer any problems at all. They are very comfortable, and the fit is true to size. In terms of the leg length, we have 3 leg lengths going on in the Warrior. We have 30, 32 and 34. Now I'm 6'2", and I'm very happy in the 32s in these, because the measurement is from the inseam, so it's from the bottom of here to the bottom of the hem, but that's including this turn-up section. So essentially, when you measure from here to here is 32, when you add the extra 2 inches of the turn-up, you have a 34 capacity in terms of leg, if you know what I mean. So when you sit on the bike, your leg length rises up at the hem because you've got the bend in it, and then that creates a slight gap between what's likely to be your boot and the bottom of the jeans. So you simply fold these down, and then you have something that's effectively a 34 leg, even though when you're off the bike, it's a 32. So that works really well, and that's always been a really good feature on the Resurgence Warrior and Cafe Racer. So that remains for this season. You don't get the red little strip with selvage kind of signature red stitching that you do, of course, because these are not a selvage denim, unlike the Cafe Racers, which is a slightly more premium quality denim, there's no doubt about it. But these are designed to be UV resistant. They're treated with an antibacterial wash finish as well, so they're going to last you a long time, and they're UV resistant. So all these things really within the PEKEV layer blend to make this something that's very long lasting. To me, staggeringly priced, being AA, 159, coming with the finest armour in the hips and the knees included at the price as well. And above all, it's just one of the most pleasant jeans on the market you can possibly wear. And it looks neutral, it's not going to offend, and you've got the blue and the black to choose from. So what more could you want? If you've got any questions, thoughts, comments, feedback about the Warrior jeans, then do let us know in the section below. There's more fantastic stuff coming from Resurgence with their ridiculously highly spec'd CE approved garments at great prices. And then there's also, of course, just more of the world's finest riding gear coming shortly as well. We hope you're all staying safe out there, and thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Goodbye.